The Bad Batch is finally here, and what a banger of an episode to start out with. Also, may the 4th be with you all. Hope you guys are enjoying Star Wars Day. Anyway, let's take a look at the first episode. Roll the intro. Really quick, if you guys hit that subscribe button, it would be much appreciated and helps the channel and the YouTube algorithm. Thanks. And the first episode is called Aftermath, as it takes place during Revenge of the Sith and follows some of the events. In the opening intro, we actually see some scenes from Revenge of the Sith, specifically the battle over Coruscant remade in the Clone Wars animated style. We are then thrown into a battle on the planet Kalar, with Jedi Master Deba Balaba leading the campaign and defending their position until reinforcements arrive. If you don't know who Deba Balaba is, she's the Padawan of Mace Windu, became a master at the start of the Clone Wars, and is the master of Kanan Jarrus, aka Caleb Doom, who we also see in the opening scene. We hear Freddie Prinze Jr.'s voice return to reprise his role as a younger version of Kanan. While Deba and Captain Grey hold the line, Caleb was sent and arrives with the reinforcements. The captain asks how many are coming, to which Caleb responds with 5 of them. To that, Captain Grey has little to no hope left, but these 5 aren't just any regular reinforcements. They are the Bad Batch. As the Bad Batch rolls in, their epic theme song comes on as they go to town. As Deba, Captain Grey, and the Regs watch from afar, they can see droids being blasted, thrown, explosions, and tanks flipped over. It was very cool to see the Bad Batch work with such fluidity and chaos. As Deba meets the Bad Batch, Tech gets an encrypted message saying that General Kenobi made contact with General Grievous and that the war may be over soon. As Caleb and the Bad Batch move out to their next task, Captain Grey receives Order 66. As a look of concern comes over Deba's face, the clones start firing at her. As Caleb hears the shots behind him, he ignites his lightsaber and runs to aid his master. As the fighting intenses, the Bad Batch turns to see Deba struggle to block the blaster shots. As Deba's face focuses on Caleb, she turns to him and says to run. The clone shots find their target, ripping Deba apart. While Caleb runs away, he hears the screams of his master as she is murdered in cold blood. Now, we've seen Deba Balaba's death before in the Marvel comic Star Wars Kanan the Last Padawan. In the comic, the events play out very similarly as well as on the same planet. The only difference is that there was no Bad Batch and Deba had a green lightsaber, but other than that, it was great seeing it being brought to animation. As the Bad Batch catches up to Caleb, he is already on edge and doesn't trust them. As he turns to run to hide to the forest, the crew regroups, tries to figure out what's going on, and are curious as to what Order 66 is. As Hunter and Crosshair track Caleb, they find him, but Crosshair takes a shot at him while Hunter tries to reason with him. Here we also hear Crosshair say the line, "Good soldiers follow orders." We've heard this line before when the clone Tup's brain chip malfunctioned and killed Jedi General Tiplar in the pre-Order 66 mine. Crosshair keeps engaging Caleb until he gets knocked out. Hunter tries to calm him down, but Caleb keeps running. They get to a cliff edge where Hunter tells him he has no idea what's going on, and he's just as confused. But Caleb makes a giant force jump across the cliff to the other side where he makes his escape. Crosshair catches up and asks where Caleb was, to which Hunter says he stunned him when he jumped and he didn't make it. The scene cuts to the Bad Batch returning home to Kamino, where they haven't been back in some time. When they land, they are surprised to see shock troopers who are the Coruscant Guard, and they also see a disturbing sight of a covered dead body of a Jedi. As to who this was, I'm not really sure, but the lightsaber that was dropped was not Shaak Ti's, so if you guys have any insight or theories, drop it in the comments down below. As the crew makes their way to the barracks, Crosshair brings up how Hunter let Caleb go free and disobeyed orders. We see again here that Crosshair is still stuck on following orders and thinking freely as the rest of the Bad Batch. The crew also learns here that all the clones have an inhibitor chip to follow the certain programming, one that they are not affected by because of their mutations. As all the clones are called to attend a mandatory meeting, we see the scene in Revenge of the Sith where Sidious announces the Jedi's attack on him and the reformation of the Republic into the First Galactic Empire being broadcasted. As that's playing, Hunter notices a little girl standing on the Overlook. As they walk back to their barracks discussing Sidious's message, they meet Omega, who was the girl on the Overlook. Omega sounds like a fan of theirs as she was waiting for them to return and knows all their names. We don't know much about her, only that she is a medical assistant to Nala Se, who was a Kaminoan. Admiral Tarkin makes an appearance to let the Kaminoans know that the production of clones will stop and the use of normal humans will be the norm of the Empire. While Tarkin and Lama Su talk, the Bad Batch are in mess hall discussing the programming of their brain chips. Omega takes a seat with them, but Regs start making fun of the group for being different. Omega starts a confrontation, to which a brawl breaks out and Echo is knocked out cold. As Echo comes to it in the medical bay, the crew is summoned by Tarkin so we can see their abilities in action. Echo is concerned that Tarkin will recognize him because he last saw him on the mission to the Citadel where he was pronounced dead. As they run the tests, Tarkin orders that live rounds be used and the droids be set at maximum difficulty. The Bad Batch takes the droids out but are furious at how they could be treated like pigs for the slaughter with no care. However, Tarkin is impressed but is still concerned about their loyalty to the new Empire. We learn here that Crosshair reported Hunter about letting Caleb go and that he's unfit to lead anymore. Tarkin tasks the Bad Batch to take out some insurgents on Onderon to prove their loyalty. Omega overhears this and tries to warn Hunter before they go, but he doesn't listen. Omega, looking very concerned, is scared to stay and wants them to take her with them, but they refuse, saying it's too dangerous for her. As they land on Onderon to take out the Separatist insurgents, they discover that there are no droids but people with women and children. Seeing as they were given misinformation, Hunter decides to talk with them, but Crosshair disagrees and is ready to kill. In the camp, they meet Saw Gerrera, the freedom fighter of Onderon who is trained by Captain Rex and Anakin Skywalker. Saw opens their eyes to how the Empire is nothing like the Republic. He tells them even though the Clone Wars has ended, there will be a new upcoming civil war, and that they have a choice to decide of who and what they will fight for. As they walk back to their shuttle discussing on which side they're really fighting for, Crosshair keeps firing back at them for not following orders. A fight almost breaks out between Hunter and Crosshair, but they spot an Imperial probe droid and take it out. They did not like the idea of being monitored. Tech now brings up that Omega is the 5th mutated clone that was counted because Echo was a reg before joining the team. Now with that information, they decide to go back to Kamino and help Omega get out of there. When they return to their home planet, they are taken in for treason of conspiring with the insurgents. They are thrown into a prison where Omega is there for snooping around Kamino, sticking her nose in places. Since Tarkin noticed that Crosshair was following orders and trying to be loyal to the Empire, he requested he be brought out and be experimented on. Nalase enhanced the programming in Crosshair's chip, so he follows their orders with no question. Tech manages a way to break them out using his brilliant mind, and the team makes their way to the docking bay where their gear is being stored. As they gear up, Crosshair walks in with several shock troopers, ordering them to stand down and turn themselves in. They obviously won't do that, and shots are fired between them. Wrecker clears the smoke bombs, so Crosshair gets a shot on him, taking him out of the fight. As Hunter and Echo try to make their way to Wrecker and get him on the shuttle, Crosshair has him pinned down using Wrecker as bait. The shock troopers try to close the bay doors on them, but to his surprise, Nalase helps them by counter-jamming the circuits. Meanwhile, Crosshair has Hunter in his sights for a killing shot, but as he pulls the trigger, Omega shoots and hits his rifle out of his hand, giving the team time to make it onto the shuttle. Hunter is very impressed, but is even more impressed that Omega has never picked up a blaster before. Omega finds Wrecker's plush doll Lula and gives her to him. It's nice to see the soft side of Wrecker. Omega looks out into space in awe as she has never been anywhere else outside of Kamino. As they try to figure out where to go next, Hunter says he knows a guy in Sector J-19, so Tech punches in the coordinates and they're on their way. Now that was a great start to the series as we got to see Order 66, Depa and Caleb, Sidious's message, Saw Gerrera, and the fall of Crosshair. This is only the start and we got a long way to go. I am hyped to see where the Bad Batch goes next. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button, and today, may the 4th be with you.